Blue Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis. Hello, everybody. My name is June. What's yours? Who can guess what that's from? No. This is Charles Dennis, and this is Paid to Dream, my dream show. And dreaming with me today is none other than Jack Maxwell.
Hi, Charles.
Those cheeks from the Arizona sunshine?
That's where I am right now. You're right. I guess so. Are they a little red? I went for a walk yesterday. Maybe got a little sun.
Oh, very nice.
Back in your day, they would pinch the cheeks, wouldn't they?
I pinch yours, but I can't get it.
Oh, thank goodness.
You came into my life about, 10, 15 years ago at the Actors Studio.
That's right.
At the Playwrights Division, I kept seeing this wonderful actor performing all the time, and I remember
And he introduced you to me?
I stopped you on the street one night and told you how great you were, and then I said to Mark Rydell, I said, "This guy is Jack Maxwell is fantastic, but where is he? Where? What is this? Yes, I know you're in portraitdom. Oh, the robots are after me here, but I don't care." I said, "Why does he work?" He says, "He's got that, he's got that drinking show." What the hell's he talking about, a drinking show? Of course, I discovered it was The Booze Traveler, and it's a huge hit that is still in reruns.
Oh, is it? I honestly haven't really watched them, to be honest. But yeah, I was doing a show called Booze Traveler on Travel Channel.
Well, tell us how you went from being an actor into the host of Booze Traveler.
Oh, it was just pure dumb luck, really. I went on an audition and they gave it to me. It's as simple as that. It took a couple of days going through everybody. It was a good gig, even though Travel Channel didn't have it at the time. It was just two friends, two ladies who had a vision and said, let's do a travel show about different cultures and what they drink and why they drink it. And maybe they'll tell some stories. If we can get a host that can get stories out of people, they hired me. I said yes. I was doing a movie, so I couldn't leave when they wanted me to. So they they were nice about it, and they moved specifically India to Nepal and switched it, put it at the end of the show so I could do the movie. And then we shot a pilot, and a year later they sold it to Travel Channel. Basically, is the long story shorter.
I saw on YouTube you were on Stephen Colbert's show.
I was, yeah.
Now, because he kept sampling all that stuff. Was he plastered by the time?
I don't want to impugn his integrity, but yeah, I think so. That's my best guess. Allegedly.
I don't. I don't think. I don't think after the last 2 or 3 months anyone's going to impugn Stephen Colbert's integrity.
He was the nicest guy, really. He was just a sweetheart. He had me on the show. Apparently, he watched it or liked it or something, and invited me on. And he said, "Would the guy drink with me?" I said, "What's the catch?" I drink all the time on the show. So we did, and it was really a wonderful experience. And he couldn't have been nicer.
That tarantula drink. I mean, what are the three most memorable drinks that you encountered around the world?
Oh, only three? Well, since you brought it up, in Cambodia, we caught wild tarantulas. I guess if you catch them, they're all wild. And they put them in wine and let them sit like that. What they call wine. It's basically rice moonshine, really. And they let the spirit of the animal, or in this case, the insect, infuse into the alcohol, and then you drink it. It's basically as simple as that. Although, out in the killing fields from Pol Pot's days, they still live out there, and they just feed it themselves off the land. So we ate field rat, we ate the tarantula, not the one that was in the rice wine, because that would be ridiculous, right? We had to catch a fresh one and cook that. And it was such a wonderful cultural experience for me, a real eye opener to see how people live and how they can be happy living almost anywhere, doing almost anything under any circumstances. And it was a real joy to not only to do that episode and sit with that family, but the whole show was like that for me. I just, what a blessing. I'm just so grateful for it all.
How long did you stay in Cambodia?
Each episode, we probably stayed in a place anywhere from 8 days to 12 or 13, something like that, depending on how many filming days we had to do, how ambitious we were in that country. Like in Spain and South Africa, I think we spent maybe 20, 21 days in each place. A smaller place like Savannah or Belize, maybe 8 days, nine perhaps.
Did they send advance people out to check everything first, or
No, this is how it worked.
arrived and did your own exploration?
No, I was very lucky to have a production company, Cargo 7, that did a lot of that work, just about all of it, actually. They have people who call ahead and they talk to fixers, people who do this for a living in these places, who might have had other people on. For instance, in Brazil, the guy was telling me about his experiences with the late Anthony Bourdain. So they used him. So I guess maybe there's a website or a network where you can find people who do TV shows or get people ready to do TV shows, get the paperwork, take care of the political stuff, bribe a few people. I don't know how it works. But oftentimes we wouldn't stick to the script, so to speak. We might find something that's more interesting in the field. So we'd do that. It happened in Nepal. I was with the guy who made his own moonshine. He had a pet chicken, but it was a real slow scene. It wasn't going anywhere. It was kind of um, I knew it wouldn't cut well together. Just to try to say it nicely. So I saw across the street a big Buddha-looking fellow in a an orange robe like the Dalai Lama would wear, and he was over there at a bazaar. And we just went over and started talking to him and about his religion and his beliefs. And I asked him because it's a drinking show or a cultural drinking show. If you ever had a drink, he said one time, head hurt, no more. And then he started talking about what he believes, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't believe in reincarnation. And he got sad. And I said, well, look, maybe I did in a past life. And he laughed, and then he got the idea of the show, and he lightened up, and it was loose, and it was fun. Completely not planned, of course, because the other scene wasn't working, and he just happened to be in eyesight. So we did that somewhat, but for the most part, it was I don't want to say prearranged because that sounds like it was fixed, but it was set up ahead of time, most of them.
So you basically traveled all over the world. How many countries?
Yeah, I honestly never counted 50 to 60 maybe. I did 73 episodes of Booze Traveler, 63 of Booze Traveler, 10 of Booze Traveler Best Bars. So, yeah, 50 or 60 probably.
Did you get frequent drinking miles for all this travel?
Uh, well, frequent flying miles, yes. Drinking miles, I put a lot of miles on my liver. Actually, we're not talking right now. He's mad at me. I'm thinking about sending it over a drink, maybe to make a make it up to him. See if he'll forgive me.
Oh my gosh. So tell me about growing up in Boston. We've never really gotten into that. How you made what it was in your childhood that inspired you, because the show is called Paid to Dream, and it's about people's dreams and realizing them. So I'm very curious.
Yeah, I had a lot of dreams when I was a kid. I grew up in the projects of South Boston, D Street, shout out. Um, South Boston, Southie, sure. And just me and my mother and my sister, no father around in the picture, really. He'd pick us up every once in a while. And I wanted to do a lot of things. I wanted to be Bobby Orr. I wanted to be Carl Yastrzemski. Mostly sports, like kids do, right? Boys, anyway. And a lot of girls. And I don't know. I was a shoe shine boy because we didn't have much money. So I asked for a shoe shine box for my birthday, which is also Christmas Day. I told my mother, combine it into one gift. I just want a good shoe shine box with supplies so I can make some money. And I would go to these bar rooms in South Boston because there was a ton of them. And they'd let kids go in there to make money, shine shoes. And it was fascinating to me to see people who had a certain personality when they were on the street, so to speak, or in the projects, but they'd go into a pub a bar room, whatever was there, and they would just light up. You think I have rosy cheeks? Some of these guys, woo, three sheets to the wind, as they would say, or red faced, whatever, the barroom tan, however you want to say it. And but they would just hold court, telling these wonderful stories of drinking and traveling and doing this and doing that. And probably maybe a lot of times they wouldn't do that in their real life. It allowed them, it gave them permission, it opened up their world and my world because I heard it all as I was shot in their shoes.
And how did you become an actor?
Well, I always wanted to be. I just didn't have the courage to go after it because I was told I couldn't. And back then, people didn't know what acting was or how to be an actor. And we moved to Phoenix in 1975. And I asked the counselor how I could become an actor. He says, you have to take drama class. And I said, okay, when is that? He says, after school. I said, isn't that when sports is? And in a very cheeky way, he said, well, son, if you do drama, you probably aren't into sports. One of those things, right? So I picked sports because that's what I wanted to do. It was no judgment against drama. I was new to the city. I wanted to make friends. I wanted girls to like me. I was decent at sports. So it was forget drama then. Then in high school, you could sign up for drama. It was an elective. And I walked in. It was not the drama that I wanted to do because I was intimidated. I was a freshman, and you get to go around and see all the classes before you choose them. And I walked in, and guys looking at a skull, alas, poor Yorick, or something. I'm like, what is he even saying? I don't know. And things like that. I was intimidated, so I walked out. I didn't do it then. And finally, a friend of mine and my uncle and me moved to Vegas. Got there, opened the newspaper. There it is, ads for a play. So I just went. I was horrible. I went back 3 or 4 days later. They were nice enough to allow me to come into the callback, even though I didn't get a call back. And I did my first play, and it took off from there. The love was always there, but then the application of that love and learning how to apply that, not just to dream about it, but to actually do it, the technical aspect, the physical aspect. And I've been doing it ever since, as I knock on wood.
Knock, knock. Um, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are also from Boston, but I find it fascinating that they abandoned their accents.
Yeah, well, to defend the boys a little, and I don't know them. I met Ben Affleck once at a screening of his movie Hollywoodland at the time, where he played George Reeve, who was, excuse me, George Reeves. It's Christopher Reeve and George Reeves. Oddly enough, they both played Superman. And I spoke to him for maybe a minute or two, and he was very nice. But I, I don't think that they ever really had strong Boston accents. They were in theater since they were young, and you probably learn how to work on elocution and things like that. And they put it on, of course, for Goodwill Hunting, the Southie accent, which I thought they nailed, even though I think they grew up in Cambridge. But I admire them. I mean, they had a dream and they did it and they wrote it and they had some help writing it, I'm sure, which is great for young writers and young actors. And they've been doing great ever since. So I wouldn't say they abandoned it. They probably want to play different parts, not just Goodwill Hunting 2, 3, 4, and 10.
Yeah, no, that was presumptuous.
They're real actors. They're real good actors, and Ben has become a wonderful director. So I'm proud of them. They don't know me from Adam, but I'm proud.
It's presumptuous of me to assume that everyone in Boston has the same sound. I mean, in New York, you have Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Bronx, which all have three very distinct sounds.
I mean, you got a problem with that? Because we can go outside and figure it out if you want to. If you want to do something like that, that'd be all right. Never mind. That's from the movie, Charles. You're always quoting movies. There's one for you. That's from Good Will Hunting. A horrible impression, a horrible line reading, but there you go. Great movie.
How did you come to join the Actors Studio? Who invited you?
Well, a friend of mine, a new friend, wanted asked me to audition with her. She had auditioned before with someone else. They sent her away to say, this time do a drama and do it with a guy. And we went to Samuel French. You remember Samuel French at the time? We just read plays for days and days and days till she picked a scene, and we did it. And we got called back to the finals. You know how this works. This might be a little inside baseball for people watching, but I got accepted, which complete flattered to be part of such a wonderful group. Um, she didn't, unfortunately. And then it's been 2003, I guess I've been there. And Mark Rydell and Martin Landau invite me down to get my letter of acceptance, and they both signed it on day one. And I was nervous and thrilled and saw these people. And quick story, I'm in line at the bathroom, at the cottage there. There's a long line during the break, and I hear someone behind me say to someone in front of me, "Hey, Lyle, I hear I hear Al might be doing your play." And what he was referencing was Al Pacino maybe doing Orphans, which they ended up doing at the Greenway, a one night fundraiser for the Actors Studio. And I said, "Wait a minute, Al, because I heard Al Pacino might be doing Orphans." And Lyle, is that the guy who wrote Orphans? Now, going back after that first audition where they gave me that part, second play I did was for Orphans. Complete fluke. I wasn't even gonna go on the audition. I didn't have a headshot or a resume. A couple hundred guys auditioned for this thing. I ended up getting it, and that was the play. It wasn't the one before where I just auditioned for the first time, but it was Orphans, and the that wonderful writing and the feeling and the two people I was on stage with. As you know, it's just a three-man play. And that was it. That's when I got the fever, when I got the bite, and I couldn't let go anymore. It was no more dreaming. It was doing, and I'm going to do it the rest of my life. Written by Lyle Kessler, of course. So I tapped him on the back, and he turned around, and I said, "Excuse me, are you Lyle Kessler?" And he says, "Yeah, welcome to the studio. I hear you had a real good audition, blah blah." He's trying to make, friendly talk, and I appreciated that. And I said, "It was your play that made me an actor." So far, anyway, that was 2003. I didn't know how long I was going to stick to it, but it was up to me. I was going to do it forever. Here we are, 22 years later.
And you finally did work with Al Pacino in Salome.
Yeah, what an experience. After,
And how did that come about?
that was wonderful. I mean, I at the audition, he flies in. There's a bunch of guys there. We do it all. It's a week-long auditions with Estelle Parsons, who was the director, and of course, Academy Award winner from Bonnie and Clyde. And so I was completely intimidated, of course. And Al comes in, shakes people's hands, not everybody, but just on the way in, and hi, Al Pacino. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get the last name. Al who? like we need an introduction, right? Uh, anyway, audition back and forth, this that, and I got the part. Salome by Oscar Wilde, wonderful play. We did it at the what's that property in West LA? The the Wentworth, is that what it is? Anyway, big theater.
Wadsworth. Wadsworth.
Wadsworth, the Wadsworth, that's it. Big theater, big space. And then we filmed it afterwards as a kind of documentary called Wild Salome, Wild with an E for Oscar Wilde. And those months, wow, not only was it fun, can't forget to have fun doing it, just to learn, watching him act, and Jessica Chastain, and at the three-night reading that preceded doing the play, Diane Wiest, and I was in the company of these masters, and of course Jessica Chastain was just starting out, but you could see she had something special, and it was just great. It was wonderful, but it was also shot as a documentary, so you had to watch everything. You pick your nose, you scratch your whatever, anything you say or do can get caught that he could use. That's what we signed off on. But really taught you how to be loose and relaxed and not really worry about the camera and what people thought of it. It was
Had he done it? Had he done it in New York first?
yes, he had been doing it for years, but I was going to say it was
Jessica Chastain was still a student at Juilliard who wandered in.
I think in New York he did it with Marissa Tomei. As far as I know, maybe he did it with Jessica. I don't know the history before we did it. I just hear things, of course, but it was probably the single most greatest learning experience of my life, watching and doing uh, those people in that play and the movie that followed, the documentary movie that followed. We shot it again, not just as a play, but we shot after that as well. So it was an amazing experience.
These films that most people aren't aware of that Al has made are just amazing. The Richard the
How good is Scarecrow? You like that one? Him and Gene Hackman?
Oh yeah, yeah, but I mean that's yeah, yeah, but I'm talking the ones that he directed. You know,
Oh, yeah, sure. Looking for Richard,
the Looking for Richard and
Chinese Coffee, right? Excuse me.
Chinese Coffee.
Uh, no, Chinese Laundry, not Chinese Coffee.
I think it is Chinese. It's not Chinese laundry.
It's not Chinese Coffee?
It's Ira. Oh God,
Yeah. Sorry, Al. There's a lot of them, right? Oh, well, at least a handful of them. I mean, but how good is he still to this he's still acting, still wonderful.
he's still going. Well, I was
85, 86. I remember we had a birthday party for him when we did it. I think his birthday is April, May, somewhere around there.
yeah, 1940, I believe. Yeah,
Wow. A long time.
I know. It's we've had several encounters. He and I. He's just I just love him. And actually, last year, our friend Fred Melamed was doing a movie in Vegas with Al, and Fred had an injury, and he asked me if I could go with him because he couldn't manage his bags and stuff. And they were shooting at a restaurant in Vegas, and there was a woman at one booth, and she was sort of enclosed, and they told me don't go near there. She was reading Al's lines to him in an earpiece.
Oh,
And but he was just, he didn't know. There's Al doing Al. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's a unique talent.
No, he's amazing. Renee Taylor.
Wonderful. Friend, fellow actor.
How did you first become involved with Renee?
Oh, speaking of the Actors Studio, her and Joe Bologna, who's been gone 8 years now, um, they were going to take Lovers and Other Strangers, that play that's been around since the 60s, this great play, funny, still relevant today. They were going to take it on the road. So it was just going to be four people, though. Joe and Renee, they had an actress friend, and they told her, call the Actors Studio, because Renee was a member of the Actors Studio in New York under Lee Strasberg. So, or Strasberg, sorry. I want to say that name wrong. Lee Strasberg. And she called the Actors Studio. The Actors Studio sent some people over. I auditioned. I got it. Really, that simple. And then I became friends with them because they're just wonderful, sweet people and just fierce artists. They're just so good. And we went on the road and we did the play and that was it. And now, just recently, this summer, I was in Stockbridge doing summer stock um, at the Unicorn Theater at this beautiful little Shakespeare style play, 120 seats, sold out the whole run, 1,000 person wait list, according to the theater, and with Renee. And I played Joe Bologna, someone who had become a friend of mine, and then he passed away, like I said, 8 years ago from pancreatic cancer, August 2017. I miss him to this day, but I got to play him, and I don't know if I've ever been more intimidated playing any role. But it was great. It's what acting is. I mean, or it should be. You're on the stage and you're interacting with your fellow actors and actresses, and you're reacting in the moment, not pre-planned, living, breathing in the moment, as they say, as Sandy Meisner said, right? Sanford Meisner. I didn't know him personally. Sanford Meisner said, the probably the best description of acting I've ever heard is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So we tried to do that, and it was great. And Renee, because she's Renee Taylor, had so many people come out to watch her. Opening night, Fran Drescher was there. Of course, Renee was in The Nanny, played Fran's mother. Uh, Mary McDonald came to see us, from Dances with Wolves and Major Crimes, because Tony Dennison, a friend of mine, was in the play, and she was his wife on that show. Bobby Costanzo was in the play. Who else came? Renee's friends, Joey Behar and um, uh, Oh, she's going to kill me for forgetting her name. Um, oh, Cagney and Lacey. Sharon Gless. Sorry, Sharon, because she's wonderful. Uh, yeah, so it's just great to have that much support all the time in this wonderful little theater community. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
And what was Elaine May's involvement?
She was the director. Now,
Tell us about that.
oh, Elaine May, what can you say? If you don't know her, look her up. I mean, she has an Oscar and a Tony. Not that means everything, but it just shows how how great she is at what she does. I don't know how else to say it. Of course, from Nichols and May and everything else. Well, she's been friends with Renee for 60 years, so she helped us prep it. I flew to New York to rehearse with them. Well, I've been working on the play for quite a while, and they've been writing it and rewriting it. Oops, sorry about that. Writing it and rewriting it. And then after the first day of rehearsal, Elaine thought that she was better suited maybe to take the play when it comes to New York. So another director came in and we did the run. And it was great. So I had some interaction with Elaine, and certainly over the years I've had, last 5, 6 years.
But is she not 90 plus now?
Yeah, I don't know if she'd get mad telling you, but you can Google things these days.
Oh no, it's no.
93 and change,
Whoa!
and still full of life. So is Renee at 92 and change. But I think it's because of the theater and their love for their craft, their artistry. At least I'm going to tell myself that so I can make it that far. And I don't have all that many years to go. Maybe some, I hope. I mean, to go to get there, not to go in life. That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? For me.
My stepson Grayson, who appeared with you in Barking Mad.
I love that kid. I was going to call him a kid. I should call him a guy, right? I love that young man. How about that?
Young man, he's going to be 12 in December, bless his heart.
Wow.
But I took,
And he could really whiz a baseball, man. He can throw it. He can hum it.
I got to tell you, got to come to one of his games. He's really extraordinary.
Invite me, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. But I took him to meet Norman Lloyd. And what was amazing was Grayson had just turned 5, and Norman was 105.
103 or something.
105. There was 100 years between them.
105, yeah. Wow. I hope you got a picture.
I do. I have a bill. I'll send it to you. But I've never stopped thanking you for Deadly Draw because you were the unofficial AD on that one. I mean, I'd be stuck, and you go, I think if you do this, you do that, and then you go, I hope I'm not intruding. But
Yeah, let's clarify. Only because you asked. And it was just,
it's a collaborative medium, and
yeah. But listen, you had a lot on your shoulders, man. You did a lot of stuff. So whenever you needed help, I was happy to to try to help you. Um, but that was a fun experience. And Ulrika, your wonderful wife, was in there. Fred Malamet, Patty Murray, a lot of people. Good stuff.
and it was Ed Asner's last screen appearance.
Oh my God, I called her Patty Murray. She's a senator from Washington. She's gonna kill me.
You mean Patty Russo McCormick? Yes, yes.
Patty McCormick is what I meant, of course. I do Wordle with her every day. We send each other scores. I'm sorry, Patty.
So what's next?
I wrote a screenplay. It was started off as a pilot. Now it's a screenplay with my friend Tony Dennison. It's called Last Stop, Coney Island.
Oh yes, that. And I went to that fabulous reading
Thank you.
at the Whitefire Theater and just loved it. And that was so good.
Yeah, that was the previous incarnation. Now it's a movie, and we have a few people involved who are trying to help move it along. So maybe I'm going to start working on something else. Hopefully, is writing something for myself to try to give myself some work. Nothing wrong with that, right?
And there's always the magic tricks.
Oh, that's right, magic tricks.
Have you got a deck nearby?
If you can give me 30 seconds, I could go get one.
Absolutely. I happen to have a deck right here. Do you happen to have a deck of cards?
Well, I do because you asked me to have them ready. So here they are. What would you like to see? A trick? It's very
Well, this is the first. I mean, how do we do a trick in a podcast without? Well, there must be ones you can do without me having to.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's very odd to do it on a podcast or on television because there could be editing, there could be tomfoolery and shenanigans and balderall, right?
No tomfoolery. But I had the brilliant idea of Hannibal Lecter doing the magic trick.
Hello, Clarice. Pick a card, won't you? So name a card, Charles.
Jack of Diamonds.
Any card in the whole deck. All right. Okay, but anyone but that one. No, I'm just kidding. This is what we'll do. I'll I'll I'll, I'll shuffle the deck as the phone falls down on me. Sorry about that. Are we there? Whoops! Look at that. All right, we cut that out maybe. All right. So listen, here's the deal. Um, I'll have the cards like this, and you just tell me when to stop, okay?
Okay.
And only when you say. I'll just randomly shuffle them like this. All right, you tell me
Stop.
when to stop. Right there, or one
Stop.
more.
Stop.
Right there. Not one more.
No.
What was the card you said?
Jack of Diamonds. Ah! Ladies and gentlemen, we have been so thrilled to have as our guest today
A silly little card trick
actor, writer, magician
for Charles, who likes the simple things in life.
extraordinaire. I love you, Jack.
Love you too, Charles. Thanks for having me.
See you soon. Bye bye.
I hope so. Bye, buddy.